Babylonian astrology had to do with doing things and looking things on the sky, on the night sky. Here we can see various signs, how they were calling. For example, Aries was the hired man, and Taurus, not Taurus as I'm writing there, it was the bull of heaven, and also the star cluster, this called Pleiades. Also, Gemini was called the Great Twins, the crab, then the lion, Pharaoh in the front. They had their own names, but also the planets had their own names because there was an equivalence between the names and their mythology. But the Babylonians were very good when we are trying to understand the basic concepts of looking at the sky. For example, when they were looking things about their ancestors and their afterlife, they were looking specific constellations. The serpent, the sacred mound, the old man, the sitting dog, fox, twins, the Babelsag, the eagle, all these constellations were looking at them, and they were not just looking at them, but also they were trying to understand how these constellations and their myths help us understand things about the afterlife, but also about their own ancestors, because in the Babylonian way of view, there was not just an astrology of predicting things. Astrology were the gods. Astrology was telling what the gods was wanting from them. It was the great, the sacred science. So when we are looking at the constellation from a Babylonian point of view, they were the god itself, and they were giving their orders. When we are seeing the cosmology creation, we see the constellation of stellar paths, the sacred mount, Scorpion, ropes of heaven. You can see various constellations. And what is very important is that, for example, that these constellations, the way they were using them, still work today. For example, looking at this Mars, Saturn, and Mercury conjunction, this was called the wild ship. And for the Babylonians, it was an omen for a death epidemic and pollution of the castle. Even today, having Saturn and Mars in conjunction and some other planet could lead to a problematic omen for what happens to the mundane level. So it is very important to understand that for the Babylonians, the names of the planet were not permanent. For example, Jupiter was always the bringer of signs to the inhabited world, and each name, as you can see here, was Mul Sagmegar, which is the basic name that the Babylonians were giving to Jupiter. But according to each place, to what was doing, to which constellation was close, and what other planets were close to Jupiter, the names were changing. For example, we have the star cluster, the so-called for the Babylonians Sebiti, or in the Greek the Pleiades, Pleiades in Greek, and was always a commonly used name for war, death, and destruction. Also, planets that were in the Great One, in the constellation of Aquarius, was for predicting of how it's going to be rain to the next year. Also, Mars was called the star cluster because the name star cluster was for planetary phenomena that is going to bring disaster, war, and other things to our life. So star cluster was for the fixed stars of Pleiades, but also Mars was for the star cluster, also named when it was going to bring destruction. But also Mars in conjunction with Mars and Saturn and Mercury was the wild ship, a death epidemic. Then, if the star cluster reaches the destroyer, which is Mars, in this year there will be famine. What that, why that is important? Because looking at the night sky, not the tropical zodiac, they didn't had the tropical zodiac in those years. They were looking the constellations, so their own constellations. They are some kind close to the Greek ones we are using today, but they were using their own names and their own constellations. So the star cluster reaches the destroyer. So if the star cluster, the Pleiades, reach the Mars, this year will be having famine to various regions of the world. And this is very important to understand how Babylonian astrology can help us even today to understand some basic concepts on mundane but also on personal level. And then we have the Babylonian astrology, eclipses, and Babylonians were very important. Also, Jupiter having conjunction with the luminaries was a very bad omen. We usually believe in modern astrology that Jupiter having conjunctions is a benevolent planet. This is not true. All of our tradition is completely different. Jupiter, in many ways, when was having conjunction, was bringing bad things to that planet. So it was a bad omen. So when you're looking at a natal chart on in a mundane phenomena, try to look at the conjunctions of Jupiter not to be so innocent. So there will be some problems. Also, Venus was having a bisexual change. The sex of Venus was changing according to the position in relation to the Sun, and we can know now that even in the Aztec astrology and in Maya astrology, Venus also had a bisexual sexual identity. There was a male Venus and a female Venus as a morning and evening star that was changing the way of the interpretation of the things. Also, Saturn was especially good for the king and the kings, while Mars was one of the worst planets, even worse than Saturn. So lots of things changed through the years. Mars was the bad guy. Mars was the ultimate evil. Saturn sometimes was very good, especially when we have to do with kings and leadership. Also, we have in Babylonian cosmology the very important circumpolar stars: the Panther, the She-God, the Sitting Dog, Wagon of Heaven, Plough, Standing Guards, and Supa, and other constellations were having a great effect in the lives of the Babylonians. The reason why they are very important is that the circumpolar stars are never touched and they were never below the horizon. That means that they are the eternal gods, the most important gods. And if you have a heliacal rising or heliacal setting star that or a star that is conjunction with the sun or your moon or whatever other planet that is very fast. For example, the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn having conjunction with one of the stars belonging to these constellations that we're going to talk later on means that something important happens to your life. This is a great meaning for your life.